Welcome to Finding Alara, a safe space where authors, artists, and creatives share their world-building style and mindfulness tactics. Brought to you by Bushland Castle Productions, a micro-publisher with an author support platform that nurtures creative growth and storytelling excellence. Welcome to the Indie Author Book Fair Minisode series. All of these interviews were recorded as a live stream from the Indie Author Book Fair event on the 30th of November 2025 in Bunbury. Each minisode will have the live interview component with myself or Paul Vander May from Forest.chat, an interview the guest had with Chris Ilsley on the day, and an excerpt from one of their creative works, which may just inspire you to have a closer look at what is available in the indie book world. Feature guest 13 of 27 is Danielle D. Drummond. Danielle is a fantasy author based in Perth, Australia. She has been spinning tales for as long as she can remember. She wrote her first storybook about an injured penguin at around 10 years old and has been crafting short paranormal stories and poetry ever since. She is now writing dark fantasy novels infused with a little bit of romance. Okay. A lot of romance, because she is a sucker for a happily ever after. Her debut, A Kingdom of Curses, The Emergence, is out now. Book 2, A Bloodline of Secrets, The Unification, is releasing 19th of December 2025. When she is not conjuring stories about women finding their strength through trauma, you can find her penning thoughts for poetry, at work disguised as her corporate alter ego, or spending time with her 2 dogs. Her first book, A Kingdom of Curses, The Emergence, has the hook, One Forgotten Sin, 1,000 Deadly Consequences. Her new book, A Bloodline of Secrets, The Unification, has the hook, Betrayal, Secrets, and Lies. Danielle's books are available on Amazon with the direct links in the show notes. We have done our best to clean up the audio for the interviews, but it was recorded live, so there is some noise from the crowd embedded within the interviews. I hope that gives you a feel for what it was like on the day. I will return to your ears at the end to share my key takeaways and let you know who the next guest is going to be. Hello everyone, I'm here with Danielle D. Drummond. And this is her book, one of her books. She has many spread out along here. So, Danielle, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you enjoying it so far?
I am. I love Bunbury. I've been down here many times with my parents live down here, so it's a favourite place of mine. And I didn't even know that there was a market that's held here yearly, and it's been a lot of fun so far today.
That's good. There's been definitely a lot of people walking by.
There are a lot.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found yourself on the creative path.
So I've always been creative. When I was younger, I used to write short stories, and then I got into poetry, and then I got swept away in the corporate world.
As you do.
Yes.
You know, money is just the way it is.
But to be honest, a few years ago, I found myself in a bit of a mental health crisis, and I started writing again, and it really helped me.
It's healing.
It definitely healed me. And it was so nice to find that place again. And then when I started writing, I found I couldn't stop.
Yeah. When you do get to that point where, like you said, a health crisis situation, you just need to find that release. And obviously, this is what has helped you find that release.
Yes, definitely.
So tell us about your book.
Okay, so A Kingdom of Curses, The Emergence is actually the story of self-discovery. So my FMC female main character, Paige, is a demi-fae. She's the only one of her kind in her kingdom. And she's always felt like an outsider, and it's basically her story of learning to love oneself and finding a place within herself rather than finding a place externally to belong.
Oh, beautiful. I take it that would have helped you as well along the way.
Yeah.
So how long have you been writing for?
So I actually started writing A Kingdom of Curses 2.5 years ago now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a long journey.
And your second book is about to come out?
My second book is about to come out, comes out on the 19th of December.
If they arrive.
They will arrive.
They will arrive. They
Let's
will
not
be
jinx
here.
it.
And for today, we actually have a special edition of the book, and you can only get it at book fairs. So you only bring it when you're doing signings?
That's correct, yes.
That is amazing. It's very unique. And what other cute little merch stuff do you have on your stand here?
So Paige, my FMC, she wears a necklace that she uses and she
Plays around with it, yep.
with a lot, and I actually have her.
Oh,
I don't
it's
know
a
if you can see that.
sword. That's so cute.
Yeah, so I have those. And the first thing that Paige does in the story is she goes and gets her tarots read.
Yep.
So I also have.
So you had some tarots made?
Have some tarots made.
That's
but
amazing.
Not only that, I have artwork. This artist is incredible. He's an Indonesian.
Yep.
His name's Deki, and he hand drew this artwork, and he drew the 5 cards that Paige gets read at the Sears. And I don't know if anyone can see that, but the detail is
stunning.
Is stunning.
So our camera guy helping us out.
Yeah.
So what drew you to write fantasy?
Honestly, fantasy has been in my heart for as long as I can remember. When I was younger, it was always about fairy tales, and I used to have all different types of fantasy books, Narnia, Ed Whiten, I can't even remember them all now. And so it's always been a place that I go and find refuge in because it's separate from reality. And I do find that for me, I can experience a lot more when I'm in a fantasy world. So when I'm writing, that's where I just tend to go. And even when I try to write contemporary romance or anything else, I always end up drawing in some sort of
fantastical elements, yeah.
Or fantastic elements in it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fantasy as well.
Okay.
It's always fantasy all the way. So when you decided to self-publish,
Yes.
Why did you choose that route, and was it what you expected?
Okay, so honestly, the reason why I decided to self-publish is, and I think he's here somewhere at the moment, that's my uncle, but my dad was diagnosed with cancer just before I ended up going down the self-publishing route. And we didn't know what that outcome was going to be. And
you wanted to get that book first.
I wanted,
Yeah, you wanted him to read it.
I wanted him to read it. I wanted him to see me achieve something. And he's been a really important person in my life. So I actually dedicated it to him.
That's amazing. Yeah, even though he's not around anymore, I'm sure that
he's still here. He's here, yep.
Good.
Yeah.
The way you were saying that,
it was just a really emotional time for us. But we got some really good news about 4 weeks ago. So
that's good. And this is what pulled him through, really. That's all it is.
Exactly.
You know, if you didn't get this book out.
Yeah.
So do you think you're going to be bringing out more books soon, other than that second book? Do you have more down the line?
So this is a 4-book series.
Okay.
Book 3 is already written. So
that's good.
Yes. I'm expecting that to come out in maybe July next year, 2026.
Very nice.
And book 4 will probably come out early 2027. I also have written a gothic fantasy, which is fully drafted at the moment. It's called The Never Girl, and I'm expecting that to come out next year as well.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So do you have any tips for people who are looking to go into the independent publishing route?
Look, yes, I think really reach out to your community. I find that the self-publishing community is really open. They love helping people. We are a family and we're always bringing new people in. So reach out to indie authors. Don't be afraid to reach out because we've all been there and we will support one another.
Awesome. That's such good advice. Everyone seems to be saying very similar things today about bringing the community together, and knowing that you can approach an indie author is just something amazing. I know my teenage self would have loved to come to one of these things and reach out.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite around back then.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming onto the show today.
Thank you
I've
for
really
having
enjoyed
me.
our conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you finished building your story and you're not sure which pathway to choose for publishing? The Book Reality Experience is a publishing assistance service offering partnership publishing solutions to authors. We have different pathways available and we'll recommend what we think works best for you and your story. Check out our website at www.bookreality.com for more information. Together, let's turn your book dream into a reality.
Another author, and dare I say, I do love it when people find a way to somehow include their middle name. The Indie Book Festival in Bunbury, Danielle D. Drummond Danielle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Danielle D. Drummond. What's the D?
Dianne.
Oh, so it is a real name.
Yes, it is.
So your initials are DDD.
That is correct.
I bet the boys gave you heaps at school for that.
Everyone gives me heaps for it.
Oh, did you ever think at some time, maybe I need to get just a different middle name?
No, that's my mother's name.
That's, but it's interesting that you include that. Why did you include that as your name as an author? Because people often, when they're authors, they like to do something simple.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the aesthetics of it, and it's my name.
So it just worked for you.
Yes.
What is it about dark fantasy novels?
I don't know about the dark element, but definitely for the fantasy element. It's an escape from reality, and there's a lot happening in the world at the moment. So to be able to jump into a world that isn't our own, I think it's just a good escape.
Do you think it's really important for people to have an escape? Do you think we kind of need it? It becomes almost cathartic?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think with having an escape, it gives your mind a reprieve from the stresses of real life. And in today's day and age, where we don't really get that anymore with social media and the technology that we have, being able to jump into something else gives us that break.
Do you think also, especially when we look at, say, the goodies and baddies type stories, do you think that one of the things we get out of that is we really love knowing the baddie's going to get their comeuppance?
Absolutely.
Even in a movie where, at the end of the movie, the bad guy is going to get shot. And it makes the movie worth watching because he's going to cop it.
Yep. No, I think so. 100%.
And you look at the good guy and you go, he's going to shoot the bad guy at the end of the movie. And I'm really happy about that because somehow we really like the good guy and we've really got to hate the bad guy.
Absolutely. I mean, good always wins out in fantasy stories. So
when you talk about stories like that, is it easier to create a bad guy than a bad girl?
I don't know. I think that's just a stereotypical perception because traditionally in movies it's always been a bad guy, right? So,
we still don't like seeing a woman get shot.
No,
we couldn't
absolutely
care
not.
less about a bloke getting shot, but a woman getting shot really bothers us.
Yeah, well,
Does that translate to writing at all?
yes, I definitely think so. I feel like in writing, when you have a bad female character, like an evil female character, if she had a redemption arc, it's a lot more believable than if a male was.
What is it about writing dark fantasy novels? The fantasy bit I get, because we can all live in a world that we want to create, and that's what fantasy does. It's just creating what you want to create that works for you. But the dark side of it, where does that come into it? And how do you think that plays out in the greater picture?
Look, I think most fantasy in itself, there is always a story about good overcoming evil. With the dark...
And that theme remains constant.
That's correct, yes. And I guess with the dark, it just comes down to how much of that theme do you want to dig into? Like, what are you going to share with the audience? Or what are you going to skim over and have as like a backstory?
Well, let me ask you this. How much is too much? Do you instinctively know how far to go? Or do you think it's something you learn?
I don't know if there is too much. I think as long as you have trigger warnings at the beginning of your book, I feel like you can write whatever.
Oh,
That's in my opinion, personally.
sounds like a plan. By the way, here's some of Danielle's books: A Kingdom of Curses, The Emergence, and A Bloodline of Secrets, The Unification.
That is correct, yes.
Oh, Danielle, thank you so much for joining us. It's much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
The excerpt I have for you today is from the first chapter of A Kingdom of Curses, The Emergence. Standing in front of a large crimson door, the pit in my stomach growls, and it sends a shiver crawling down my spine. I've always been intuitive. Intuition is one of my gifts. The growling is not something I've experienced before, not until a few weeks ago, so I heed the warning, contemplating if coming here was the best choice. Do I really need to know what my future holds? When I left my apartment earlier, my plans were simple. Go to work as usual at my second job at The Pit, where the best live music in the Neapolis is played. The ale is cold, the liquor is strong, and the crowd is unruly. Best of all, the music is loud. I wanted to be there. I needed to be there. It's the one place in this world that makes me feel like I belong, where I can forget about all my troubles and just be me. But with my sacred birthday fast approaching, I feel like my life has been lacking direction. I've spent my first 24 years of my life spinning in circles, unsure of where I belong or how to fit into this world. I suck in a breath, trying to ease the pounding in my ears. Abrasive metal bites at my skin as I wrap my fingers around the large brass ring positioned in the center of the door. I knock. 1, 2, 3 times. The eyepiece slides open and a golden marbled eye greets me, darting around in an avine manner. What's your purpose for visiting this warm autumn eve? For me to read your future and tell you what I see? The voice behind the door asks in a whimsical chorus. I request a sitting with the seer before my unification, I reply, hoping the mention of my sacred birthday gets me seen. But the reality is, this is not the only reason I am here. Silence fills the air between us for a long moment. The large red door finally swings open into a tiny dark room filled with iron trinkets, candles, books, and crystal balls. Upon a white throne on the far side of a large round wooden table sits a petite middle-aged witch, the seer. Her translucent crepe paper skin exposes violet blue veins that somewhat resemble a vine-like tattoo spreading throughout her frail frame. It's unusual, yet striking. She smiles, revealing a mouth full of angular teeth. Each one is etched with intricate rune engravings, and one jeweled canine shimmers faintly under the soft glow of the candles, radiating an aura of ancient mysticism rather than malice. Come in, the seer instructs in a melodic voice, as she gestures over the table that is almost too big for the room. It's covered in a thin, black lace cloth that reminds me of my mother's fabrics, and I feel a tug at my lips as I exhale the breath I held with anticipation. As I cross the threshold, her wide-set eyes dart around erratically, and I can't help but wonder if she was the one who answered the door. Intrigued, I open my senses up, but I don't feel another being inside. Not that I expected that to work. Thank you, I respond meekly, and the mass of butterflies that reside in my belly begin to stir. I cross the room to take a seat in one of the 3 sumptuous wingback chairs opposite her. The smell of cedar and sage dances in the air. I lean back into the supple cushions. The chair's inky wings wrap around me, encasing me in a velvety cocoon of shadows. The candles that litter the entire space ignite instantly, and the seer's golden eyes burst with light, creating a marbled effect across her irises that spark a flickering reflection in the gemstones and crystals around us. And the shadows come to life, dancing across the room. Don't be nervous, my dear, she sings, looking down at me over her beaked nose. For you have no reason to fear. Her words instantly take effect, and I feel the growling inside subside, and the butterflies begin to settle. Every word she speaks with her wispy tone lands like poetry as she draws out and over-enunciates every word, sounding every bit as wise and old as legends say. There are many rumours about who she is. One thing everyone seems to agree on is she has been around for over 500 years and is well respected in the Neopolis as one of the eldest witch seers in the kingdom of Elindria. She takes a moment to look at me, and I mean really look at me, studying my features closely. Her head bobs sharply as she eyes me up and down. It should make me feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't. I'm used to it by now. You are not like the others, she muses. This excerpt instantly transports the reader into Danielle's world, sweeping you into the adventure. I'm curious to know what the seer has to say. My first takeaway was the catalyst that inspired her writing. She had thought about it for years and years, and then the urgency increased with her father's illness. My second takeaway was how healing it was for her to release these stories. I think that the characters that you create can be as real as you and I. You are spending time with someone you have intimate knowledge of and putting them in situations you don't have the opportunity to face in real life. My third takeaway was her tip, which was on theme with the event: reach out to the writer community. What were your takeaways? If you would like to carry on the conversation with Danielle, then she has a website, danielledrummond.com. She also has Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. All the contact details are in the show notes, along with her book information. In the next special episode, you will hear from Tora Channing. If you are enjoying the show and would like to show some support, then please subscribe and share these episodes with a friend. Or if you want to go the next step, you can buy us a cuppa. Head on over to ko-fi.com/findingalara. That's ko-fi.com/findingalara. There is an option for you to buy us a cup of tea for $2, or you can join the Shadow Lair for $5 a month, where you receive exclusive content and advanced information about the show. If you would like to get in touch with myself or the team at Bushlane Castle Productions, then I'm on Instagram and TikTok as @FindingAlara. There is a Discord channel and Facebook group called Finding Alara Podcast. The Bushlane Castle Productions team are on Facebook, Instagram and Discord as BCP Creative. Or you can check out the website bushlancastleproductions.com for the most up-to-date information. If you'd like to get in touch with Chris, then he's on Facebook as Chris Ilsley. And if you want to talk to Paul, then he is on Facebook as Paul Vandermeer and has his own podcast, Forest.chat. The music is brought to you by @KeysOfMune Music and is called The Epic Hero. If you enjoyed listening to Finding Alara, have any questions, or just want to share your world with us, then please get in touch. Until next time, keep up the search for your Alara.